In many lotteries, you must select 5 numbers to play a ticket. However, you could also choose more numbers by playing what are called multiple combinations, which means playing all possible combinations from a selected group of numbers. For example, 7 numbers would require 21 tickets, 8 numbers, 56 tickets. As you can see, covering all these combinations would take a lot of time and would also be very expensive. ComboReduce is an application that helps structure and reduce these combinations using mathematical reduced system based on combinatorics. The app does not change the probability of the draw and does not guarantee any winnings. It simply organizes your grids in a structured way. Let's now see how to use the application. First, select the type of lottery. For most lotteries, the draw consists of 5 numbers. In this tutorial, we do not include bonus numbers or star numbers. The application offers several safety systems. By clicking the information button, you can read the definitions of each system. Safety 4 out of 5. If the 5 winning numbers are included in your selected base numbers, then at least one generated grid will contain 4 correct numbers. Safety 4 out of 4. If 4 winning numbers are included in your base selection, then at least one generated grid will contain those 4 numbers. The difference between the system lies in the level of conditional coverage and the number of generated grids. Let's take an example using safety 4 out of 5. We choose 8 numbers. Full coverage of 8 numbers would require 56 tickets. With safety 4 out of 5, the structure is reduced to 5 tickets. We enter our 8 selected numbers, then we click Generate. The application automatically generates the 5 grids to play. Once the official draw is known, enter the winning numbers and click Verify. For this example, let's assume that 3 numbers from the winning draw are included in our initial selection. The application then shows how many grids contain 2 or 3 correct numbers. You can test different scenarios to better understand the combinatorial structure. For example, if the winning draw contains 4 matching numbers, in this example we replace 49 with 42, then we obtain 2 grids with 2 correct numbers and 3 grids with 3 correct numbers. Let's return to the system selection and examine safety 4 out of 4. This system generates more grids, but provides wider coverage when 4 winning numbers are included in your selection. If we use the previous example, the system will generate 20 grids. Of course, the more numbers you include in your base selection, the more likely is it that the winning numbers are included in your set. The application also offers systems with pivots. A pivot is a number that you choose to include in every generated grids. Mathematically, This means structuring combinations around a personal hypothesis. The pivot number will appear in every generated grid. The pivot does not increase the probability of a number being drawn. It simply organizes the combinatorial structure of the grids. For example, one pivot plus 5 additional numbers generates 4 grids. One pivot plus 7 additional numbers generates 12 grids. As before, we fill in the numbers after selecting the pivot. In this example, the pivot number 18 appears in every generated grid. You can think of the pivot as your favorite number. There is also a 2-pivot system. In this case as well, both pivot numbers will appear in every generated grid. ComboReduce is designed for players who want to structure their combinations in a clear and methodical way. The application is available in iOS. You can start with the free version and access advanced systems through subscription.